Breakups are often the symptom of problems in a relationship. My workbook series, The Knowledge, is focused on helping you change your life in 4 key areas: retaining the information that I teach, personal growth, improving your relationships, and of course, re-attracting your ex. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about, is she using you?
Uh-oh.
Signs that she might be. This is a big topic that a lot of guys worry about.
Right.
And so today we're going to talk about it because a lot of times when you start dating somebody, you're concerned about the reasons that they're spending time with you. Mm-hmm. You're not sure about what's going on with their motives and why they might enjoy you or being with you. And I think one of the things most guys worry about is if a woman is interested in him for his money. But I do tend to think that we worry about it a lot more than it actually happens. Right?
I think so.
And we're going to be talking about some of these signs today and what you want to look at. And at the end, I'm going to talk about the big reason I think people use each other. Okay?
Okay.
So, obviously, a lot of people, when you're starting to go out, spend time with new people, you're afraid that this new person is going to take advantage of you. And you're going to be used by somebody. And it's not a good feeling.
No.
Because...
No,
you
nobody
know,
wants to be used.
Guys feel, I don't know if it's embarrassed that, or like somebody's trying to pull something over on them if they think the woman is just there for his money. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we're going to talk about some of the signs and what to look for, right?
Right. What kinds of things might give you a warning.
Exactly. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of, and it's scary to think that they might only care about you because there's a financial gain. And, sometimes it is realistic that a woman could be interested in you for their money.
Right.
Okay? But one of the things you got to look at is realistically, what is your financial situation like? Are you making $100,000 a year? Are you making $500,000 a year, or are you making $30,000 a year?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to assess that and realistically look at whether that person would be in it for the money or not. Now, so obviously everybody's going to be in a different situation, so you got to think about your own. And you got to think about the person that you're dating. How much significantly higher is it? Or is it not higher?
Mm-hmm. Than what she would have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you're making $100,000 a year and she's making $80,000 a year, is she really using you for that much money more?
Probably not.
But maybe if you're making $150,000 and she's making $12,000, now you gotta
right.
Okay, I gotta make sure, I gotta be sure here.
But you're saying start with the facts. Good idea.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic for openers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Realistically, you want to assess your situation and examine what is their financial situation like, what is yours like, and what are the chances, right? Because let's face it, if you're making $40,000 and she's making $75,000, she's not going to be using you for your money.
Probably not.
Right? It would be a lot less likely to happen.
Yeah. And some people are more into material things than others.
That's true.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you guys don't understand about women is when they find somebody that they really love, they don't care about that.
That is true.
They don't care about that.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll tell you, I just want to be with him.
Yeah.
I just miss him. I just love him. And it doesn't matter. And some of you find that hard to believe. And if you do find that hard to believe, you really want to look at your relationship with women and your mother.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
What do you think about that?
I think that's absolutely true. And peer group can make a difference too. I know I hear from people fairly often, my friends are telling me this, my family's telling me this, but I don't see it that way. I see something different. And you have to take all of that into consideration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to look at this person's behavior. Look at this woman's behavior. Is she asking for, things all the time from you, that she maybe wants you to purchase things for her or take care of her, because that could be a sign that she's using you. Right? But if a woman really cares about you, she's going to feel guilty asking for things. She's going to feel bad, like, I don't want to put him out. I don't really want him to think about giving me that. And a lot of times you guys, in an effort to be really nice, are trying to do something nice, but the woman doesn't want you to. Right? Now, if you allow somebody to take advantage of you, some women will. Some women will take advantage of that. But you got to assess the situation as a whole, right? You want to wonder and think to yourself, okay, would this person be with you if you had an average paying job? Well, maybe they were, and maybe you guys have been together a long time and built something together, right? Maybe you built a business together, and you knew that during the hard times they were there. You got to look at that. If you feel like, oh, she would definitely not be with me if I wasn't with, this company or had this job or this business, then yeah, maybe she's using you.
Gold digger, I believe is the term.
That's right.
Gold digger. I don't think that's changed.
Yeah, so think about it. Would she be with you during the hard times? Would she leave? Or what do you think this person would do?
Yeah.
You got to look at them, okay?
Right.
Another big one, another big sign is how emotionally invested are they?
With you.
Yeah.
With you, right. It's pretty hard to fake liking somebody a whole lot, I think, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. If you pay close enough attention, you'll be able to see it, right? Does she talk about her feelings for you? That's a big one.
Yeah.
Is she affectionate? Does she seem concerned or interested in your life?
Right.
Right?
And I heard a case of this week, just a few days ago, where the woman was blatantly unconcerned about the guy's well-being. And he was going to be wealthy at some point within the next few years, but he wasn't yet. And it was sort of like she didn't quite comprehend that and was very angry at him.
Yeah.
But not interested in his life.
Yeah.
Particularly.
Absolutely.
I heard another one where the woman said, oh, well, if you're still going to be in school, I don't want to live on a shoestring.
Wow.
Glad you mentioned that right now, before we got into this further.
Yeah. So those are some warning signs.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing that you really want to look at is how much empathy do they have for you? Are they concerned about you working too much? Do they tell you to cut back or not worry about these things because they'd rather spend time with you? That's a good sign that it's not so much about money and it's about your company.
Right. I'd rather have you take the night off and have a few bucks less. That's right. That's very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's another big thing that you got to look for. How transparent is she with you? Right? That's a big one.
Transparent. That's a word I hadn't thought of. That's good.
Yeah. Like, does this person disappear for days at a time and not explain where they're at or what they're doing? I mean, that shows that they're not so concerned about being disconnected from you. And that could mean that it's because she doesn't really care. Here's another big one. Do they hide you from your friends or their friends and family?
That's a big one, and that's one that we encounter pretty frequently. And it's not always immediately clear to me what the reasons are for that. But I think it's a major issue.
Yeah,
Don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
So if you don't meet their friends, their family, that she's not saying, hey, I want you to meet these people, and she's keeping you separate, then maybe it's because she doesn't want you to know about them or them to know about you, and she just cares about what she gets from you.
But there's a secret somewhere, and you don't want that.
Yeah. Now, one of the big things that I don't see anybody talking about, and this is, for me, the biggest reason you would know somebody is using you, is are they using you as an object to soothe their anxiety?
That's a big one, right? And that's a major pitfall in relationships. Right, because what happens when somebody breaks up, then there's this flood of anxiety and literally a panic reaction of how am I going to survive without this person? I'm not sure I can survive till tomorrow without this person.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you want to look at somebody and assess, can they be alone? If you are dating somebody that just goes from person to person to person, then it's probably not so much about you as it is them having somebody and being alone.
Yes. It's very, very difficult for many people to be alone, and it causes terrible decisions. It causes decisions to get with people, and it causes decisions not to leave people.
That's right.
The fear of being alone.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to be with somebody because they want to be with you.
Right.
That they're okay if things end, and not because they want it to end, but they would survive. They wouldn't jump into another relationship. Right. If somebody that you're dating is constantly jumping from person to person, it's probably because they can't handle being alone.
That's probably what it's about.
And if that's the reason, then they could be using you.
And we hear a lot of, my ex hooked up very quickly, like in 3 days or a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that can often be the fear of being alone.
I had a guy I did an email coaching with recently that the day he moved out, the other guy moved in.
That's cutting it a little close. That's poor planning. If
They
nothing
probably
else.
got their boxes confused on the move.
My goodness, that's mind-boggling. And if that happens, then it wasn't a real relationship, because you have to grieve. You can't just go from one person to another.
Yeah. And if it is, that shows it wasn't so much about you that it is, I can't be alone.
Right.
I gotta find somebody right away. I can't do this. They're scared. And you remember, when we're anxious, we become very self-absorbed and selfish.
And don't think of anyone else except how we're going to get to the next day.
And soothing our anxiety.
Yeah.
We don't like our internal state, and we've got to fix it. If we don't feel like we can fix our internal state, we'll use somebody to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that is very, very important to look at in assessing if somebody's using you.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I find that people that are very anxious in a relationship, they're going to start lining somebody else up.
If they see your relationship beginning to crumble, yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably accounts for a lot of the immediate hookups when people break up.
It really does.
Sure.
You got to look at these things and think about them. I talked to a guy today who caught his girlfriend holding hands with another guy. Mm-hmm. And she was leading him around her work, holding his hand, and then he catches her and he's like, what is going on? And she's like, oh, it's nothing. I'm just taking him around, showing him around.
I always hold hands with the people I'm showing around.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
And I told him, you've got to get angry about that because it wasn't right. And I don't think this girl is really right for you. Now, there were a lot of mistakes made after that point, but that's not even the point. That happened during their relationship.
Yeah. So you think men worry about this frequently, that they're worried that they're going to be used? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do think
that's too bad.
A lot of guys are concerned that they're just being used for money. And more so than money, I think it's about women that they're dating scared to being alone.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, there are the obvious things. Does she carry around expensive catalogs telling you that Christmas is coming?
Yeah.
Does she want to know why you haven't taken her to the most expensive restaurant around? Mm-hmm. Does she say her friends did many expensive things and went on expensive cruises and went on expensive trips? Those things.
And made you feel guilty because you didn't.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that can happen as well.
So those are some of the questions you want to think about and ask yourself, and those are the signs that you want to look for with those answers. And if you're getting a lot of those check marks saying yes, then you have your answer, and it's probably not the person you want to be with anyway.
Right.
But of course, every situation is different, and every breakup is different, and that's why Margaret and I are here. We'll be happy to talk with you and assess your situation, talk to you about it, because a lot of times your anxiety will cause you to see things that are going on that aren't really there, and your friends and your family will see things that are going on that aren't really going on.
Yes, and that's a real issue, and I think the younger you are, the more your peer group makes a difference. All my friends are telling me this and that. Well, what do you think? Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's no answers. What do you think? Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't make any decisions based on your friends.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, so when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
Yes, I am. Feel free to sign up.
So that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.